Oh, hello there. Didn't see you coming. I'm Sura, the ninja. I'm here to talk about some ways that Black Desert Mobile could be made better. But first, let me tell you a joke. Why did the ninja cross the road? To get to the other side without being seen. Too many classes. As Sura the ninja, I've always enjoyed the challenge of mastering my class and learning its unique strengths and weaknesses. However, I can see how the sheer number of classes in the game can be overwhelming for some players. If the developers were to focus on balancing and refining the existing classes rather than constantly introducing new ones, it could make the game more accessible and enjoyable for everyone. Overpowered new classes in PvP. I've been in my fair share of PvP battles as Sura, and I know how frustrating it can be to face a new class that seems overpowered. If the developers were to take a more cautious approach when introducing new classes, testing them thoroughly before releasing them into the game, it could help prevent this kind of imbalance and make PvP battles more fair and enjoyable. Pay to win. As a ninja, I've never been one to shy away from a challenge, but I can understand how it can be disheartening for players who don't have the resources to keep up with those who do. If the developers were to find ways to make the game more balanced and less reliant on spending money, it could create a more level playing field and make the game more enjoyable for everyone. Community favoritism. As a ninja, I've always preferred to work on my own, but I know that many players enjoy the social aspect of the game. If the developers were to encourage a more inclusive and supportive community, rather than catering to the whims of a select few, it could create a more positive and welcoming environment for everyone. Unbalanced class buffs. I've seen my fair share of buffs and nerfs as Sura, and I know how frustrating it can be when they seem arbitrary or unfair. If the developers were to take a more measured and thoughtful approach to balancing the classes, listening to feedback from players and addressing issues as they arise, it could create a more enjoyable and fair gaming experience for everyone. Lack of in-game content. As a ninja, I'm always looking for new challenges to test my skills. If the developers were to introduce more in-game content, such as challenging dungeons or world bosses, it could give players something to work towards and make the game more engaging and rewarding over time. Lack of customization options. As a ninja, I take pride in my unique style and approach to combat. If the developers were to introduce more customization options, such as different hairstyles or weapon skins, it could allow players to express their individuality and make the game more personal and meaningful. Difficulty curve. As a ninja, I relish in the challenge of mastering my class and pushing myself to become the best I can be. However, I can understand how the steep learning curve of the game can be discouraging for new players. If the developers were to introduce more tutorials and training content, as well as gradually increasing the difficulty over time, it could make the game more accessible and enjoyable for everyone. Lack of social features. As a ninja, I prefer to keep to myself and focus on my training. However, I know that many players enjoy the social aspect of the game. If the developers were to introduce more social features, such as in-game events or cross-server chat, it could create a more vibrant and connected community and make the game more enjoyable for everyone. Lack of transparency. As a ninja, I value honesty and integrity above all else. If the developers were to be more transparent about their plans for future updates and patches, it could create a sense of trust and respect between the players and the developers, and make the game more enjoyable for everyone. As Sura, I believe that if the developers were to take these suggestions to heart and implement changes based on player feedback, it could make Black Desert Mobile an even more enjoyable and engaging game for everyone. I imagine a world where there are fewer classes to choose from, but each one is balanced and refined to perfection, where new classes are tested thoroughly before release, ensuring that PvP battles are always fair and enjoyable. A world where players can compete on a level playing field, regardless of their financial resources. I envision a community that is inclusive and supportive, where players of all backgrounds and skill levels are welcome and encouraged to participate. A community where buffs and nerfs are made thoughtfully and with player feedback in mind. In this world, there would be challenging in-game content for players to work towards, with customization options that allow them to express their unique personalities and play styles. There would be tutorials and training content to help new players overcome the difficulty curve and learn to enjoy the game, as well as social features to help them connect with other players. And perhaps most importantly, there would be transparency and honesty from the developers, creating a sense of trust and respect between them and the players. As Sura, I believe that this world is possible, and I hope that the developers will take these suggestions to heart and work towards making it a reality. Well, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed my suggestions for making Black Desert Mobile a better game. If you did, please sneakily hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And remember, stay stealthy out there, my fellow ninjas.